Greetings, my friends. This is Mark Hoverson. Hope you are doing well. Welcome. You can see from the panel, I believe you can see this entire panel. We have some eager, optimistic, excited people ready to share why they are rippling and rippling hard and rippling deliberately and rippling even though the commerce is right around the corner. They're rippling all the way. So we're going to get ready to share. You're going to hear from Vanessa. You're going to hear from Larry. You're going to hear from Ann. And then Mr. Jonathan Budd is going to bring the heat on how you can grow your Ripple at lightning speeds. He has an enormous Ripple, as he may or may not share, coming up. But let's get right into it. My own story with Rippln real quick is that when I first heard about it, I thought it was just an app deal. I thought it was a single tiny little app on a phone that people would get for free, and I thought, where's money? Like, how do you make money in something that's just free? I didn't understand the freemium model. I didn't understand that Rippln was actually becoming a platform to distribute hard goods and a variety of electronic goods, and I had no big picture. But Jonathan, who's in the blue checkered shirt, gave me about a 90-minute deep download, and then after that I talked to our CEO Brian Underwood for a few hours on the phone. Just help me understand what this thing is. And then after all that, today I have so much almost bewildering possibilities of what this Ripple can become, because I think it is the most interesting, literally the most liquid cash potential I've seen in my entire life. And in all our marketing and in all our, we haven't really spoke about the income impulse that is driving a lot of us. But I'm not ashamed to admit that I think this could be the biggest financial opportunity of my entire generation. Not just my life, but the entire generation that we're in. And we're going to go into a little bit of what that means and why we're so pumped today. So without further ado, I think we'll play roulette, and I'm going to go ladies first with the illustrious Ann Sieg. She is, I like to call her the matriarch of online marketing. She has been a leader. She's been a mentor to me and a friend and a colleague for many years. And Ann, I guess right out of the gate, you know, you're popping your Ripple. I've been meeting people on your team. They're pumped. They're dialed in. You're committed. It was funny. You went from kind of semi-disinterested, you know, semi-like whatever, you know, we're busy, we have businesses, to like massive team engagement, and it happened really, really fast. So I guess the question I'd like to roll out to you is, what do you see right now? I'm going to go just kind of a money thing. But what do you see right now in terms of the commercial potential for you that is causing you to give so much effort, so much resources, so much time for this futuristic coming day of commerce?
Well, it was that conversation with Jonathan. You had invited me through this thing right here, my phone. It's usually within about 3 inches of me. And you texted me and you go, Ann, you got 2 minutes? I said, yeah. We had a very short conversation. You said, you got to talk to Jonathan. We got on the phone, my eldest son and I, and we are very busy. We are very, very busy.
And let me interject. This is why I said you got to talk to Jonathan, because I still didn't get what it was.
No, you didn't. You really didn't. I was like, you know what? He sounds so ambiguous. I don't think he knows what he's talking about. And actually, you didn't. But
I had no clue.
We got on the call with Jonathan, and that was really it. Was just that call. I don't know, maybe it went 45 minutes. And it literally was like this huge light bulb went off over my head, bang, pulling the chain, and I just said, I get it. I mean, I totally did. And it was mostly this. It was the social sharing aspect was the most prevalent of that. But what's really magnified that by showing up in Dallas was the whole gamification aspect. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, we had a launch where we busted our tail for 6 weeks, and it was a great launch and everything, but not 600 million, so pardon me, 600, where are we at now anyways? It feels like we're going to hit 1 million awful soon, but 600,000. All to say, Yeah, I'll be really candid and straightforward. It is for the enormous money-making potential that is here within Rippln. I wouldn't be working this as hard as I am while still building my business and doing everything that I am. So I'm really glad you texted me that day, Mark, and also for that call with you, Jonathan, because it was that phone call. I just totally got it. I understood the whole model, the business model, basically flipping it over on its head. Instead of the money going up to someone like Mark Zuckerberg, it's going downward to all of us as we share in the Ripple, the incentivization through the Ripple. So I'm all in.
I like it. Wow. Well, Ann, that was powerful and key. Let me press one more final little question in there. When you think of the model, like for me, I like the idea of the in-app purchases on games. I think that might be like the big one. I also think maybe the augmented medical devices that plug into the phone, and then $2, $3 monthly maintenance on those. I think that could be a really interesting residual play. In your seeing the future and all the kinds of commerce that can go through here, from movie tickets to health apps to the whole enchilada, have there been like one or two that you're thinking, ooh, I think that one might be it for us? Or is it just the whole cosmopolitan?
It's the whole model. There isn't a product per se or app that I'm thinking singularly that's going to take it to the next level, other than the communication app that's going to yet be rolled out through Rippln. There's so many. It's really more so we see how much commerce goes already through our social media efforts, through Facebook, through Twitter, and the like. Now it gets to go through our Ripple. My whole family's involved with this. I've got a son in China, and Mandarin just came out yesterday. So you better believe it. I got that email over to him that, hey, it's time to start cranking over there in China. Just the sheer volume of it and how quickly this thing has grown. Really the biggest, though, I have to say, why I know this is going to be so successful. Look at 600,000 people, and there is no monetization in this thing yet. It's all been gamified. Wait until people see what's coming out soon. That's going to take the gamification to a whole nother level. I mean, it's highly addictive. It's fun. People are missing out if they're not in here, but they will be. We all know they will be.
I love it. So, Ann, virtual high five for everybody here. High five. Good work on that. Love it. All right. Ann, thank you so much. Next, I'm going to bring up Larry Lane, who I don't even know that well. So it's really exciting to...
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me on.
In front of, thousands of people that will end up watching this and watching it now and stuff like that. So, Larry, my question to you is very similar to Ann's, where commerce is like peeking around the corner. And you're, I hear, putting a lot of heart, a lot of soul, a lot of energy, a lot of belief, a lot of intention into growing your Ripple. What do you see for yourself, and what's causing this kind of effort from you?
Well, absolutely. The one thing that I always let my team know is we're only going to build this Ripple one time. We're building the Ripple right now, so a month from now it's going to be so much larger, and this is just the time to build it. But with the commerce coming, when Michael Bill and Michael Rutherford, I first heard about this probably 5 months ago, and I really saw the vision. I thought about, Facebook and Twitter and, everybody over there inviting their friends, their family, nobody's being compensated for it. So I really saw a difference, not to change social networking, social networking already works, but to actually change the platform. So from day one, just about engaging your team, but also letting them know that eventually when we build the platform, build the Ripple, which we're doing right now, they're going to get to share in the rewards. So, that's huge for me. I've been to Las Vegas. I've been to San Diego. I was just in Dallas for the launch. And every time I go, I learn more and more from the speakers. But from the very beginning, it's been all about the platform. It's been all about the rewards. And now that we're so close, it's just pushing even harder now with your team, letting them know that for the next 3 weeks or so until we launch, what we do right now in this Ripple, once we launch, it will take 6 months to do what we can do right now in the next 3 weeks, because everybody's going to know about it. You're going to lose your first mover's advantage. So I just want everybody to stay focused. It's all about building that Ripple right now. The rewards are coming. I mean, like Ann just said, when people see the actual communication part of the app, when they see what the platform is, it's just going to explode. And I know it. I believe it in my heart. I've been in it since day one, and I never look back.
Wow. I like that we're building this once, And in my, I've been in the entrepreneurial space for about 6 years now, and I've never, with a remotely clean conscience, thought even to say a message. It's not if someone's going to be in the Ripple, it's like a win conversation. But I feel like this might really be that kind of conversation where it could become such a no-brainer status, like, hey, track your Ripple, it's a game, it's fun, it's free, it's a great app, check it out, all this connectivity, and it's a tech company that's like rewards people for being on the platform. I feel like it can penetrate the masses in a way that, literally in a kind of way that Facebook did, where almost it's not if, it's like when, and it's the majority of people. And I really like what you're saying, like having the people that have those social, basically reaching out to people now who have that social influence and watching that ripple spread as laying like the train tracks. The way I visualize it is like it's like a spider web of train tracks with wealth flowing to certain people. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a powerful thing to get aligned with that, and I love it. Larry, that was really, really powerful. And I don't even want to ask you another question because I think you dropped the bomb on it. We're building it once. We have first mover advantage, and there's people that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And now is a great time to be in front of the masses. So, Larry, that was powerful. I'm inspired.
Thank you.
Love it. Now, Vanessa Duplessis, one of my dear friends, it's just an amazing woman. She has I've watched you direct, and you've got so many skill sets, administration skill sets, you've got personal coaching skill sets, you have technical skill sets, you have all these skill sets, and I'm seeing you converge them all and just like laser beam them into the Ripple. So Vanessa, tell us, why are you doing that? What's your point? What's driving you? What are you excited about?
I remember, Mark, when I asked you, so are you going to check out this app thing with Jonathan? And he had already talked to me about it, and I was like, well, yeah, no brainer, makes complete sense to me. Let me see what Mark's doing. And you tell the story publicly, you're like, yeah, no. I'm going to kind of leave that over there. And I went, okay, well, that was interesting to me. And to watch you be here with us and how immersed you are in your Ripple, I think it's part of why I'm in my Ripple. I love my Ripple. I love my team members that I'm helping, and I'm going to tell you why I do it. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of energy in the last 60 days supporting, our entire Ripple group, including my own, and I do it because I think we're going to really positively affect lives. And like Ann said, I see the income potential. I have a 13-year tech background, and I've worked with multiple Silicon Valley companies. I've worked with venture capitalists, years and years and years of that. And I'm thrilled about what we're going to be doing, where we get to, kind of flip the model on its head and start incentivizing those of us who are building these tech companies. So that is part of why I'm here. I'm excited about the tech side of it, which is a passion of mine. But I'm really here for my family and the future of my family. My son turned 9 yesterday, and as I was looking at both of my kids, all of a sudden it hit me, my daughter who's 6, I'm going to have a wedding to pay for. And who knows how much that's going to be in 20 years, and then college, and all kinds of things. So from a financial perspective, I see what we're going to be able to do as a way to help a lot of people, and including my family. And so I am running hard. I spend a lot of time on my Ripple and supporting my team for my group that's watching. They know I love them. They know I'm here for them, and it just continues to grow. But I think for our current 600,000 people right now, we love them all, because we are going to be one big family around the world by the time we're done, when we have our own billion people. So I can't wait for that. The other thing that intrigued me about the model is I play, my son plays Clash of Clans and Temple Run, and I play Jewel Mania, and I play a bingo game on my phone, and I'm always buying 99-cent stuff. I'm always buying 99 cents to play my bingo game faster, or gems and all this. And I thought, I get to be paid for doing what I already do? I get to be paid for buying products and services just like I would if I were buying something on Groupon or Amazon. I already do this, as do many people around the world. Why shouldn't I be incentivized for that?
I love that. And a really powerful thing in that is that we're not, why this has that kind of like explosive potential is we're not attempting to alter people's behaviors. Meaning if you introduce them to a new like a health product or some like anything at all new, you're having to change a habit and you're having to work against the grain of how they are, where what this is doing is leveraging habits. And then in the next generation that's coming up right now, they are so I mean, this is literally an extension of their spirit almost. I mean, it's everything to them. It's their memories, it's their music, it's everything, and they live and breathe on this thing, and it is already their habit. So I think we're just literally leveraging into people's habits, and then we're restructuring the architecture to reward how the billions get distributed. So to our guests, Vanessa, Larry, Ann, let's do the last high five for all you guys, and then I'm bringing on Jonathan, and I'm cashing. Boom. All right. So thank you, Vanessa. That was powerful. Jonathan, all right, we're on a march to the million. You've been spearheading a lot of vision. You've been spearheading a lot of marketing mindset. You've been spearheading, really gluing, the infrastructure of your Ripple and bonding it together because you see the big vision. And I think before you share on a strategy, I'd like to hear like why are you putting so much energy in this, and what do you see? So just like what I asked everybody else, like what's causing you to like move so much out of the way to put so much in to building and bonding with your Ripple?
Hey, Mark. I appreciate you so much, man. Love these questions, and just love you, and always appreciate you hosting and sharing and just giving so much to people. And truthfully, I was thinking and hearing everybody talk, it kind of feels to me like we're in this new age almost, where it's the age of the entrepreneur. And it's we've been playing with this term, socialpreneur. And what does it mean to be a socialpreneur? And what does it mean to be an entrepreneur? And I was reading this article the other day that was all about the new millennials, right, or what they call Generation Y. And Generation Y, for the first time in history, when they interviewed this generation coming up, what they discovered was that 66% of the entire generation actually had values that reflected entrepreneurship over employees or the security of a job. And almost 66% of this entire generation that they surveyed and studied said they'd rather work for an entrepreneurial sort of motivated and or principled company or be an entrepreneur themselves than have risk and take on risk to do that, than have security and work for a job where their freedom would actually be limited. And I read that and I was like, my goodness, that really defines, the age that we're heading into. And as this is just my thinking. When I look out at the world and when I see the world, my vision for the world, I see things are changing, and there's a lot of transitions happening in the global economy, in our domestic economies, and you can see more and more and more this trend to independence and freedom and people having more control and more power over their own income and how their own life unfolds. And so when I look at Rippln, we are the definition of being a socialpreneur. Simply through the networks that we already have and the relationships we've already built and the value that we're already driving in the marketplace, we now have the chance to build a social business and really meet our financial needs in this whole new way and have fun doing it and be part of an amazing community. And that to me is what I think a rocket scientist would call a no-brainer.
Right.
So, that's a little bit about what's got me so excited for the future, my friend.
Jonathan, as always, that's good. I'm just thinking like this next generation, I was talking with some younger guys recently, and I didn't grow up with a like button or a share button. I didn't grow up with a share button. This next generation, and now even us, like, it didn't take long for us to get with the share. We're professional sharers. We are very good. We're very keen, and I think what you're hitting on is that I read somewhere that meaning for this next generation is a greater form of currency than money. Meaning outweighs money. And what we do is we share things that have value to us, and we share things that are dear to us and have meaning to us. And I think what Rippln is allowing us to do is share this vision of lifestyle freedom, of really spreading abundance and recognizing where the value is, which is in you. It's in me. It's in our families. It's in our friends, and the things and the products and the services and the apps that are good that change our life for the better. And that's what we're all about. Jonathan, so I've got a dip because I got another arrangement going on, but you're going to lead us into some how to grow and bond and virally create mayhem in your Ripple. And I'm going to pass it over to you, Sergeant. And I have a feeling that everyone's going to be in for a real treat. And that's just a little preface, everybody. He has multiple six-figure numbers in his Ripple. So this man knows what he's doing, and he is a techno splasher in his own sense. So Jonathan, love you. I'm handing it over.
Thank you, Mark, and everybody. Larry and Vanessa, you had such brilliant answers to the question. I just really appreciate that you're here. And Mark, thank you so much, my friend. I know you had to hop off because you're hopping on another session, but we really appreciate you. And now I think what's important is once you really see the vision of Rippln and what's possible for all of our lives here, right? You sort of get this socialpreneur movement that we're all a part of, and you see that there's literally billions of dollars to be made here. I mean, there's billions of dollars flowing through apps like Clash of Clans that Vanessa was talking about, and Farmville and Cityville and all these other ones. I mean, there's billions of dollars flowing through these apps, and we, the consumers, are the drivers for these companies in the marketplace. There's billions of dollars flowing through Groupon. Who's the driver of Groupon? It was the sharing person to person to person to person that drove Groupon's audience, right? Friends saying, hey, get this, and other friends saying, oh, I just bought this, come with me to this. And it's we, the consumers, who are driving the value for Facebook. How did Facebook get to a billion people? That didn't happen because of Facebook putting up ads on billboards and ads on TV. I've never seen one Facebook ad in my life. How did Facebook get to a billion people? We, the people, we drove it to a billion. And so I think at our core, Rippln is really recognizing that, we have a lot more value in the marketplace than we realize. And I read a statistic the other day that the average American, and I don't know what this is around the world, but the average American has $3,800 cash in the bank. Average, $3,800 cash in the bank. And I started thinking, is that an accurate number to what our value is in the marketplace? Are companies really, are we getting paid enough from our jobs and employers? Is that all we're really worth? Give me a break. We are driving billions and billions and billions of dollars in the marketplace right now, just in a handful of companies I've talked about, never mind all the other companies. And Rippln is fundamentally the first platform that gives you and me and everyone else the ability to track their impact in the marketplace, to track how their social graph spreads, to track what our value actually is in the marketplace, and get rewarded for all the commerce that takes place inside our network. And I think that is just one of the coolest concepts that has come around in the last decade, since this entire tech boom and tech industry has started, and the chance for all of us to be here so young in this conversation and be able to be some of the first to really start growing the Ripple and sharing the Ripple with the world, especially with how easy it is. I think it's just a true honor. And with that being said, I'd like to dive in and really discuss how to ripple up. And so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to share my screen here. Start screen share, so you should be able to see that. And now we can see Vanessa. I'm just going to go over here and make sure that it's working. Okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and we've prepared a little Ripple Up training document. And I just want to make sure, is that on Facebook? And Vanessa, maybe you could actually check too real quick on the Rippln Facebook page, because if everybody goes to facebook.com/Rippln right now, I'm just facebook.com/Rippln, you should be able to see this in real time. If everybody goes who's watching this, just head over to facebook.com/Rippln. And if you notice, we just posted a document 54 seconds ago, it says, that says, "Are you ready to ripple up? Here's how." And it says Docs, Rippln, How to Ripple Up PDF. And so if you go over to facebook.com/Rippln, first things first, make sure you like our page if you haven't liked our page already. And a couple cool announcements I'll make at the end is we're running a contest right now to win an iPad as well. And so you can literally win an iPad just by literally, if you scroll down on the Rippln mission page and you enter into the little box, you'll see a box on the left. And as long as you have liked the Rippln page, that'll qualify you. You'll have one entry to win an iPad. And if you share that page with your friends, and any of your friends also like the Rippln page, you'll have 10 entries to win an iPad. So, that's just something cool we're doing right now. I figured I'd let you know about it in case you want to win an iPad, but we're always doing fun stuff here. And so if everybody just likes the Rippln fan page right now, and if you want to follow along with the training that I'm about to do, just come over here onto the facebook.com/Rippln, RIPPLN page, and download this Are You Ready to Ripple Up? Here's How PDF. It's the How to Ripple Up PDF. So that's where you can go to follow along. And Vanessa, maybe you could just let me know that everybody can see my screen right now in the full screen mode. Does it look good?
Looks fine.
Thank you so much, dear. And so here's how to ripple up, my friends. First and foremost, ripple up. The definition, and I believe we will see this in Wikipedia very soon. The definition of rippling up is the coveted state of Rippln excellence upon completing 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 accepted invites. Once you've rippled up, you've crossed the first big gate of Rippln success. So that's the Wikipedia definition I think we're going to be seeing soon. And just to explain that a little bit more, right now, if you have accepted your invite into Rippln and you click on the Invite tab inside your back office, if you're just beginning, you'll notice that there's 5 open invites for you right now. 5 open invites. And once you send your first 5 invites to your friends, your coworkers, some of your family members, colleagues, or even people that you meet just in your daily life every day, once you send your first 5 invites and you have your first 5 people accept the invite, what happens is it unlocks 5 more invites. Now, when you send 5 more invites, it unlocks 10 invites. And when you send those 10 invites, it unlocks 15. And when you send those 15, it unlocks 20. And when 20 accept, it unlocks 25. And once you've reached this coveted state of having the 25 accept their invite, that's when you have officially rippled up. And for everyone who has been watching and following the Rippln buzz phase and looking at our videos, we just came out with our million user March video earlier this week, and we're really excited as we march to 1 million users. And we've been sharing more information with everybody. Next week we're coming out with the Rippln Rewards Plan, which will talk about how everyone can get rewarded from participating in Rippln. If you've been following along and you've been watching this and you've been wondering, what do I do next? what do I really focus on? What's the most important thing I can be doing to really take some action here and to really, you know, have fun with this, but also position myself as a social entrepreneur, to really position myself so that I can have a true business and a true income coming in from Rippln, you know, as we engage commerce and move into commerce in the future. Then here's what to do, okay? The first focus that you should have is rippling up, right? So what that means is we've had 70 people accept our invitation, and it means we've gone 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 accepted invites. And once you've done that, you've reached the coveted state of Rippln excellence that we call rippling up. And in this training, we're going to discuss exactly how to do that, because it's a very simple process. And the more of us who are doing that, and as we begin to share this process with others, this simple process is what will cause your Ripple to go viral. And I'll tell you, you know, there's nothing funner, there's nothing more enjoyable than seeing your Ripple go viral, except when you're actually getting a check in the mail because your Ripple went viral. And when you think about some of the viral companies out there right now, like Angry Birds or Farmville, and you realize that these companies went viral and they're worth billions of dollars. And what happens if your Ripple goes viral? You know, how much could that be worth to you? You know, this is a really exciting concept, and as more people understand what we're doing here and really see it come to fruition, you know, this is going to go more viral than anything we've seen yet, and we all have the chance to be at the forefront of that. And here's how to do it. Step number 1 is you make a list of your top 100 contacts from Facebook or your phone or any of your other social profiles, okay? And if you want, you could start small and you could just shoot for getting your first 5 invites, right? Once people accept your first 5 invites, maybe that's your first goal. But if you're really excited, then I think your first goal should be on rippling up right from the start and having your first 70 invites accepted and reaching the coveted state of rippling up. And so if you go over to your Facebook right now, or your Twitter account right now, or your LinkedIn account right now, any of your social profiles, or even if you're just looking in your phone, what I'd love for you to do is just begin to make a list of who are the people that you think would love the Rippln concept. Who do you think would love our platform? Who are the people that you think would really enjoy this conversation? And that's who you make a list of first, okay? We'll go back and we'll invite everybody over time, because the truth is you never know. You never know who's going to love this more than anything. You never know who's going to see Rippln and hear about Rippln and say, this is the coolest darn thing I've ever seen. I want to be a part of this. And all of a sudden, they're going to cause your Ripple to go viral, just that one darn person. You don't know who that is, so we don't ever want to exclude anyone. But right now, make that list of your top 5 or your top 10, or if you want to ripple up, your top 100. And you can use all of your friends on Facebook or LinkedIn or even in your phone to do that. And here's a fun fact. An average person has 245 friends on Facebook and 80 contacts on their mobile phone right now. 245 friends on Facebook and 80 contacts on their mobile phone right now. So the truth is, who couldn't ripple up if they really wanted to? Everybody can do this. That's what makes it so fun, is it's for everybody. And we're already doing it. Who's never invited somebody to look at a website before or join a website? These are things that we do all day long. So step 1, you make a list of your top 100 contacts if you want to ripple up, or less if you just want to have fun getting started. Step 2 is you send a message through Facebook. And I'm actually going to go and I'm going to demo this live after we're done with the How to Ripple Up training. I'm going to go demo this live. Step 2 is you send a message through Facebook or through your email if you have a friend's email address, or through text if you're just texting somebody from your phone or calling them. That pretty much goes along the lines of this. You know, hey, first name, whatever their name might be. I'll use Vanessa in this example. Hey, Vanessa, you know, what's your email address or your phone number? I want to send you something really cool. right? And you can customize this to whatever your natural language would be. I would say something like, hey, what's your email or phone? I got something super cool I want to send you, and I just need your email. And once you get their email or once you get their phone number, if you're contacting them on Facebook and you don't have their email or you don't have their phone, then that's when you would receive their email or phone. Once you get it, the next step, step 3, is you go to the Rippln back office and you send them an invite through the invitation system. And the invitation system is easy peasy. You simply enter their name, their email, and you click invite. And Rippln's going to send them an invitation to join your Ripple and to be a user on the Rippln platform. And after you've done that, then step 4 is you go back to the Facebook or your phone or your email, wherever you had a conversation going with them, and you say, hey Vanessa, I just sent you an invite to Rippln. Can you check it out and accept it? We're trying to reach 1 million users by June 15th through our new platform, and we're really close. We just crossed 600,000, which, by the way, we crossed today. Rippln is the first platform that rewards you for the value that you're already bringing to the marketplace. It's a really cool site. Check it out and let me know what you think. Appreciate you. And you can customize this any way you want as well. So this is kind of just my language. It's how I would say it. But if you want to just copy and paste it, just copy and paste it. And after you've followed up and pretty much sent them a message like that, which really just the point of that is to encourage them to accept your invitation. It's so that there's more of a human touch. It's that they don't just get the invitation from Rippln, but they also get an invitation from you. They also know that you're behind this and that it's something that you believe in and something you're passionate about and something that you're excited about. And when you share that enthusiasm, when you share that with them, it's going to cause them to like it even more and to want to check it out even more, and they'll accept your invitation, and then they'll start watching Rippln videos and going through a similar process that we all have. And step 5 is just wash, rinse, and repeat. And it's this extremely simple process right here, literally 5 steps, could cause you to build a Ripple that goes viral all over the world. And I know that you heard from some of our guests earlier when they were talking about how fun it is, how enjoyable it is to literally just watch your Ripple go viral and to watch your Ripple enter new countries and go into and have new Ripples show up and new Ripples pop up. It's an amazing thing when we all get to see our impact on the world. And I would love for everyone in the world to get to see that impact, because I think it would actually probably empower us more, and we'd have a little bit more confidence, and we'd know, hey, man, I'm worth a lot more than I thought. I had no idea that I was driving this much in the marketplace, and yet we are, and that's evident by looking at these companies. So this simple 5-step process is how anyone can grow a huge Ripple. And it's simple. And so make it your goal. If you're watching this right now and you really want to engage and you really want to position yourself and you're aligned with our message of being a social entrepreneur and you want to check as Rippln comes out of the gate, you'd really like to pay your car bill or pay your mortgage or pay your phone bill or even replace your income completely. If you want to do that, then what I would do is make it your goal to ripple up within the next 5 days. And if you make it your goal to ripple up in the next 5 days and you stop at nothing to achieve your goal, then I know you're going to be well prepared to start capitalizing as a socialpreneur once we activate the Rippln reward system. And that is coming very soon. And everything that we do right now matters. And one of the things that I learned from my mentors a long time ago about this type of business is that most people, they only get paid for what they do. And so you go to work every day and you get paid for what you do. And if you stop going to work, you'd stop getting paid, you'd stop making money. And so that's the reason why most of us are on a hamster wheel kind of our whole life. If we stop for a second and we get off the wheel for a second, then everything stops. We're broke, we don't have money, and that's not a good scenario. But what I learned from my mentor is that it's far better to get paid for what you start. And when you look at the most successful people probably in our lives, all of our lives, they're people who have started businesses and they've gotten leverage and they're getting paid for what they've started. And right now you have the chance to get paid for what you start, not what you do. The ripple that you build could pay you for a lifetime. And I think that's why it's so exciting to be here right now, learning about the Ripple and learning about rippling. So it's this simple process that is how you ripple up. And now I'm going to shoot over, and I just want to show everybody a real quick example of how this works. So here I am on my personal Facebook page, and if I look down here and I click on my friends, you'll see that, hey, here's all my friends, and I can go through really quickly, and I can.
You're not there yet.
Okay, Vanessa, thanks for telling me that. I don't want to pop too quick. Let me know when you can see the Facebook.
Now we can.
Can you see it?
Yep.
Awesome. So then what you see right now is just my friends on Facebook. And so you can really quickly and easily see all the different people that you haven't invited yet. There's a ton of people I haven't invited to the Ripple yet. And so all you're going to do is you're going to make a list of your top 5, your top 10, your top 20, your top 100 people that you really want to share the Ripple with, that you think would love it. And then we'll go back for everybody else later, because I personally believe everyone should be in the Ripple. I believe that everyone should be getting rewarded for the value that they create in the marketplace. I think that we as people deserve this. We're driving so much money for these companies. We deserve to get paid for our value. So let's say that I'm going to invite one of my friends here. Here's one of my best friends in the world. Let's say I click on Jason's profile, and I'm just easily going to go up and I'm going to click message, and you'll see in a second that it should take me to a message. Oh, that looks like the message right there, but how do I send him a message?
I think they just changed it, Jonathan, for just like today. The message field, it now shows up as a chat box.
They just changed that today.
That's how it's showing up for me. It's not showing up the normal message way. That just happened today. So unless someone else has seen otherwise, but that's how it's looking for me. It's just like what you see in your lower right. It's
well, then weird. I'll just send Jason a message right here. So once I clicked message, thanks, Ann. Gotta love Facebook. They're always making changes and advancing the platform. I'm just going to send him a quick message. Hey, bro. And boom, it's literally that simple. And now, as Jason sends me, what I would do is I would come over here to start my Ripple, log in. You'll notice it pops up on the invite section, and here's a player invitation that I currently have open, and I would just type in Jason and whatever that is. I would come down here, I would type in the CAPTCHA, and then hit send by email. And once I've done that, I'm going to go back over to Facebook, and I'm just going to send them that second message, which says, hey, I just sent you an invite. Appreciate if you could accept that when you get a chance. I'm part of Rippln, this new platform that is rewarding people for their own value that they create in the marketplace. It's a really cool concept. I think you're going to love it. Let me know when you got it. And it's literally that simple. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And that, my friends, is how you ripple up. And I'm going to come back over here now to our Hangout. And I'm going to turn off the screen sharing. Hey, can you guys see me again?
Yes.
Awesome. And it's literally that simple. And I'd love if Ann and Larry, Vanessa, if you all have anything you want to share with everybody too, because each of you has done such an incredible job building the Ripple and have a lot of exciting possibilities in your future because of the ripples that you built. You know, what's one piece of advice you'd give to everybody who wants to go out there and really become a social entrepreneur and build the ripple?
Jonathan, you need to unshare your screen because you're stuck on me. So you got to click on yourself.
No, we see him. I think your screen is slower, or your bandwidth.
Okay.
I would just say I keep it simple. I don't go and make it all complicated. Are you guys hearing me okay?
Loud and clear, my dear.
Okay. Yeah, so I just keep it really simple. I don't like to complicate it. It's just pretty much, and I tend to do it over the phone. So, you know, here we are, and I get it done in about 3-4 minutes. In that way, they're not hogging up, if I may say it that way. They're not filling up a spot that can just sit there and sit there and sit there. I want it done so I can bring in the next person. So I use the phone, get them on the phone and walk them through. It's very, very quick. I don't complicate it. I just say there's a really cool new app that's coming out. And here now we're at 600,000 people who are interested, and they're going to be in the early release notification of it. So it's free. Just get on in. I just keep it very, very simple. I don't complicate it at all.
Brilliant.
I'll go next. One thing that I do, Jonathan, you know, I always walk my people through the invite. When I send them a code, I will actually call them and give them the code over the phone, and then I actually take them to startmyripple.com. Usually before I get off the phone, I let them go ahead and invite their first person. So now I've trained them how to do it, and they can go duplicate themselves. Another thing I do is, you know, I just keep everybody, just stay focused and stay out of your own way. You know, you can be your biggest critic, but you just got to stay the course. You know, I just saw your first Ripple. I mean, that was really impressive. That's incredible. That shows that you've really been driving this. So, but yeah, just literally, it's so easy to go out and talk to people. You know, you go out and you share it, especially with your Facebook friends. Those are your first level contacts. So, and I have to give a shout out to my twin brother. He's actually helping me build the Ripple. So doing really, really good. But it's cool, you know, you get to work with your family and stuff. And we've got, you know, literally the videos. That's what I was going to say. One thing, really quickly, the videos, you know, you should plug people into the videos because they can explain it a lot better than you can. And we've got so many great tools from corporate. So like Ann said, just keep it simple and literally just keep using those videos because they're incredible.
Brilliant advice, my friend. I love the piece about helping walk somebody through sending out their first invite too, just so they can see how that works. And behavior is what always duplicates. Appreciate that, partner.
Yep. Thank you.
Vanessa, what do you think?
You know what I want to add is making sure that those that you invite get plugged in and they attend the calls that we do, the hangouts, the trainings, the events, because the more connected I think we are as Ripplers, the more we really see the vision and get excited about what we're doing. So we're always doing something. There's, you know, a call, there's a hangout, there's something going on, and I think that really helps the energy. And people want to have fun these days. There's a lot of stuff going on out there where people are, you know, low energy maybe in their potential day job or whatnot. Let's show them the fun that our community really is.
Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. The more you engage with this community and the more fun that you have with us and the more you get to know the people who are behind everything and all the people in the Ripple and all the amazing individuals that have shown up and just really been contributing, it's a community that I think really changes people's lives. And I think that it opens people up to new possibilities that they didn't even see before. And everybody sort of gets to grow together, and it's just another one of the reasons why it's a special place to be. And with that being said, my friends, I think a fantastic way for us to sort of step forward from here is to really, after you've seen what's in it, after you've seen what's coming, after you've heard from people who are doing amazing things and gotten a chance to see into the future of Rippln, and how simple it is to grow your Ripple, you know, it's time for us all to sort of set that goal. You know, where do we want our Ripple to be by this time tomorrow? Where do we want our Ripple to be by this time next week? And I think if you commit, if we all commit, if everybody commits to going and rippling up right now, and before the next hour even passes, you've gone and you've gotten your first 5 invites to accept. and you've connected with a bunch of people on Facebook, and you've gotten their name, you've gotten their email, you've gotten their phone, you've sent them the invite, you've followed up, and you've done that. You've made sure that within the next hour you do that at least 5 times. If we literally just spent 30 minutes a day or 60 minutes a day focused on growing this business, you know, it's unbelievable where our lives could be just 6 months from now, just 12 months from now, just 18 months from now. We could truthfully create something that changes our life and pays us forever. And that is an exciting possibility. And so let's all commit to what we want to create and where we want to take our ripples. And with that, it's been a wonderful evening hanging out with everybody. Appreciate you, Ann. Appreciate you, Larry. Appreciate you, Vanessa. And look forward to seeing everybody soon. Happy rippling.
Happy rippling.